Africa is a vast and diverse continent with a population of over 1.2 billion people. While it is mostly known for having some of the poorest countries in the world, it also has some of the richest and the fastest growing countries in the world. In this video, we will look at the 10 richest African countries. Number 1. Nigeria. Nigeria is located on the western coast of Africa with 260 million people. It is the most populated country in Africa and the 6th most populated in the world. Nigeria has a GDP of $509 billion as of 2022 with an economic growth of 3.1%. The major source of economic income is oil and natural gas. Aliko Dangote is the richest person in Nigeria with a net worth of $20.5 billion. This makes him the richest person in Africa, the richest black person in the world, and the 83rd richest person in the world. Nigeria is also home to Nollywood, largest film industry in Africa and the second biggest in the world, producing over 200 movies per week right behind India's Bollywood. Number 2. South Africa. South Africa, the originator of the famous Amapiano sound, is located at the southern tip of the African continent. It boasts about 1,832 miles of coastal line. The popular movie Blended Family was shot in one of the resorts in South Africa. It has a population of 60.6 million, the 5th largest in Africa. South Africa has a GDP of $415 billion with an annual growth of 2.1% as of 2022. The major source of income is mining, manufacturing, and agriculture. Johan Rupert is the wealthiest person in South Africa with a net worth of $11 billion, making him the 187th richest person in the world. South Africa is the only country in the world with 3 capital cities: Cape Town, Pretoria, and Bloemfontein. The world's oldest mountain is in South Africa, about 240 million year old, boasting about 200 species of endemic plants. South Africa is the only African country to host the FIFA World Cup and the only country to win every Rugby World Cup it has contested. Number 3. Egypt. Egypt is located on the northeastern corner of Africa, linking Africa with the Middle East. It has a population of 107 million, the 3rd largest in Africa and considered the largest Arab country in the world. Egypt is the first African country to operate an airline in Africa. Egypt has a GDP of $378 billion with an economic growth of 5.2% as of 2022. The major source of economic income is tourism, agriculture, and oil and natural gas. Nassef Sawiris is the wealthiest person in Egypt with an estimated net of $7.4 billion. Egypt has 6 billionaires, the highest in all of Africa. Some of the world's intriguing archaeological findings were discovered in Egypt. The Great Pyramids with its mummies are well documented. But there are other fun facts that are not well known. For instance, very few people are aware that Egyptians invented the 365 calendar, and Aswan, a city in Egypt, is the 3rd sunniest place in the world, receiving about 10 hours of sunshine per day. And contrary to popular belief, the pyramids were not built by slaves. Number 4. Algeria. Algeria is a North African country with a Mediterranean coastline and a Saharan desert interior. It has a population of 46 million. Algeria has a GDP of $206 billion with a 2.6 annual growth. The major source of economic income is oil and natural gas. Issad Rebrab is the wealthiest person in Algeria with net worth of $5.1 billion, making him the 7th richest person in Africa. Algeria is the largest African country by landmass, nearly 5 times the size of Spain. However, around 80% of Algeria is the Sahara Desert. Algeria's national animal is the fennec fox. The cute fox is so beloved that they are not only the national animal, but also a nickname for the national football team, Le Fennec. Algerians are known for their amazing hospitality towards guests. For instance, it is customary for Algerians to invite visitors or friends into their home for a few cups of tea and good company. Algeria is home to the third largest mosque in the world, Jama' El Jazer Mosque. Ethiopia is a landlocked country located in the Horn of Africa with a population of 120 million. It has a GDP of $156 billion with a 5.8 annual growth. Ethiopia has one of the biggest airlines in Africa. The major source of income is agriculture and manufacturing. Mohammed Al-Amoudi is the richest person in Ethiopia with a net worth around $8.3 billion. His business comprises of oil and gas, real estate, and technology. Ethiopia is Africa's oldest country and the only country in Africa that was never colonized. It is also home to Mount Kenya, the highest mountain in Africa. Half of all the mountains in Africa are in Ethiopia. The Rastafarian movement mostly came from Jamaica, but many people don't know that the movement originated in Ethiopia. The name Rastafari comes from the Amharic language and translates to Prince Tafari. Number 6. Morocco. Morocco is located at the northwestern corner of Africa directly across the Strait of Gibraltar with a population of 37 million. It has a GDP of $142 billion with 3.2% annual growth. The monthly average salary is 18,200 Moroccan dirham, about $1,926. The major of economic income is tourism, agriculture, and manufacturing. King Mohammed VI is the wealthiest person in Morocco with an estimated net worth between $3 to $9 billion. According to Forbes, he is the wealthiest king in Africa and the 5th wealthiest monarchy in the world. Morocco is known for its breathtaking beaches along scenic sandy shores. The country has 2 stunning coastlines, one on the Atlantic Ocean side and the other on the Mediterranean Sea. The only other countries with similar coastlines are Spain and France. Traditionally in Morocco, the liver is the organ that denotes love and romance. Instead of saying "you conquered my heart," one will say "you conquered my liver" in Morocco. Number 7. Angola. Angola is a southern African nation with a population of 33 million. It has a GDP of 124 billion with 3.1% annual growth. The major economic source of income in Angola is oil. The country is a member of OPEC and has the second largest oil reserves in Africa. Oil accounts for about 90% of Angola's exports and 50% of its GDP. The richest person in Angola is Isabel dos Santos. She is the daughter of former Angolan President José Eduardo dos Santos and has a net worth of $2 billion. Dos Santos made her fortune through her investments in Angola's oil and diamond industries. She also owns stakes in several major Angolan companies, including Unitel, Angola's largest mobile phone company. Angola is a beautiful country with a rich history and culture. The national animal is zebra and the official language is Portuguese. Number 8. Kenya. Kenya is located in East Africa. It is bordered by South Sudan to the north, Ethiopia to the north and northeast, Somalia to the east, Tanzania to the south, Uganda to the west, and the Indian Ocean to the southeast. It has a population of 57 million. Kenya has a GDP of 117 billion with 6% annual. The major economic income in Kenya comes agriculture, trade, tourism, manufacturing, and investment. The richest person in Kenya is Narendra Raval with a net worth of $1.7 billion. He is the founder and chairman of Devki Group, a conglomerate that operates the steel, cement, and real estate sectors. The name Kenya comes from the Kikuyu word Kienya, which means the place of the rising sun. It is also the birthplace of the world's first woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize, Wangari Maathai. Kenya is home to the world's largest population of elephants. A beautiful country with a rich history and culture. It is a great place to visit for a safari, a beach vacation, or to learn about African culture. Number 9. Ghana. Ghana is located in West Africa, bordering the Gulf of Guinea and the Atlantic Ocean to the south, Ivory Coast to the west, Burkina Faso to the north, and Togo to the east. It has a population of 31 million. Ghana has a GDP of 78 billion with an annual growth of 3.2%. The major economic income for Ghana is agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and services. Ernesto Tarikon is the richest person in Ghana with a net worth of $1.3 billion. He is the founder and CEO of the conglomerate Engineers and Planners. He is also the owner of the largest private hospital in Ghana, the Ridge Hospital. Ghana was the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule and power. The name Ghana means warrior king in the Soninke language. The people of Ghana are known for their warmth and hospitality. They are always happy to welcome visitors and to share their culture with them. The Year of Return, an initiative launched by the President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, in September 2018, intended to encourage African diasporans to come to Africa, specifically Ghana, to settle and invest in the continent, has been a very successful endeavor, seeing over 2 million people from the African diaspora visiting Ghana in 2019. Number 10. Tanzania. Tanzania is in East Africa within the African Great Lakes region with a population of 62 million. It has a GDP of 67 billion with an annual growth of 5.6%. The major source of economic growth in Tanzania is agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing. Mohamed Dewji, also known as Mo Dewji, is the richest person in Tanzania with an estimated net worth of $1.5 billion, Africa's 17th richest person and youngest billionaire. Tanzania has stunning scenery and abundant wildlife. It is a beautiful country with a rich history and culture. It is a great place to visit for a safari, a beach vacation, or to learn more about the African culture. It is home to Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa, and the Ngorongoro crater, one of the world's largest calderas. These are the 10 richest African countries. They are all diverse and unique, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. However, they all have one thing in common: they are all working to improve the lives of their citizens. Natural Reader is a professional text-to-speech program that converts any written text into spoken words. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button.